Hello and welcome. Let's get started with today's story. Enjoy. Title: Husbands, 36M, affair child, 5F, left with us, marriage strained, can it be saved? I'm a 34-year-old woman currently navigating through a rather difficult phase in my family's life. My husband and I were living what seemed like a dream with rewarding jobs and two amazing children, a 10-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old son. However, a series of complications during my last pregnancy drastically changed our circumstances. The pregnancy was perilous, nearly costing both me and my baby our lives. Following this traumatic experience, I was left in considerable pain and understandably, I wasn't ready to resume physical intimacy with my husband. I believed he was supportive and understood my situation because he didn't pressure me about it. The calm in our lives was disrupted a few months ago when Child Protective Services unexpectedly showed up at our door. I was initially panicked, worrying about possible issues concerning the care of our children. However, the truth turned out to be something entirely different and even more shocking. A woman, previously unknown to me but connected to my husband, had died in a car accident. She left behind a daughter, and my husband was named as the father on the child's birth certificate. I was stunned to discover that during the time I was recovering from the complications of my pregnancy, my husband had sought comfort elsewhere and had an affair with this woman, a coworker of his. Faced with this new reality, we made the decision to welcome his daughter from the affair into our home. This felt like the responsible thing to do for a child who had just lost her mother and had no other family willing to care for her. Integrating her into our family brought about a host of challenges. We had to prepare a room for her, buy new furniture, and gather school supplies and toys to make her feel welcome. The logistical and emotional adjustments have been substantial. I have taken on most of the responsibility, from communicating with our children's schools and doctors to updating our extended family about the changes in our household. The financial strain has also been significant as we had to enroll her in the same private school as our children, which meant I had to increase my work hours to cover the additional costs. Amidst these changes, the atmosphere at home has become tense. Our children are struggling to understand why they suddenly have a new sister, and the adjustment has not been smooth. Our daughter has been particularly upset, and even our son, who is much younger, senses the stress in the home. The new girl, understandably overwhelmed by her new living situation and the loss of her mother, is also having a hard time settling in. I have suggested family therapy, counseling for the children, and even marriage counseling to help us navigate these challenges as a united front. Unfortunately, my husband has been reluctant to participate, fearing criticism and judgment for his actions. His lack of involvement in easing this transition has left me feeling isolated and overburdened. I'm deeply concerned about the well-being of all our children and the state of our marriage. The advice from friends and family is varied, but many suggest seeking professional help. I'm now considering counseling for myself and the children to help cope with the current stress. Additionally, I'm thinking about consulting a divorce lawyer to explore all options, as I'm increasingly unsure if our marriage can withstand the strain of these recent revelations. The road ahead seems daunting, but I'm committed to finding the best way forward for the sake of our children and their emotional health. The support from the community and clear-headed advice from professionals will be crucial as I navigate this challenging time in our lives. Update. I need to come clean. I was misled and it clouded my judgment. Many of you pointed out inconsistencies in how my kids reacted to our new family member, which opened my eyes to the reality of the situation. I prepared my kids by subtly hinting at the arrival of their new sibling, setting up a room, and expressing excitement. They should have been aware of her coming. Yet, the reaction of my eldest daughter, who was deeply upset, pushed me to seek the truth directly from her. One evening, I sat by her bedside and confronted the issue head-on. I explained that I had discussed the new arrival with their father and even referred to the youngest's newly arranged room and my previous mentions of her. I couldn't understand why my eldest was so shocked and distressed. It turned out that my husband hadn't been truthful with them, or with me. He told the children that our new arrival was a friend's daughter who needed a home, completely omitting that she was their half-sister and his child from another relationship. This deception came to light when the children first met her and asked who she was, noticing her different appearance and clothing from the pictures we had shown them. In that moment, I inadvertently exposed the lie by introducing her as their half-sister, a term that my son couldn't grasp but which shocked my daughter. I apologized to my daughter for the confusion and stress caused that day, for not having a proper discussion with both children about their feelings, and for not ensuring their father had fulfilled his responsibility. She accepted my apology but shared that the revelation had led to her being teased at school, which deeply saddened me. I've been too lenient with their father, inadvertently neglecting the children's emotional needs by not pushing harder for his involvement. I assured my daughter that I would arrange therapy for her and her siblings to help them cope with these changes. Despite my husband's objections to therapy, I stood firm, recognizing the urgent need for professional guidance to support our children through this transition. Furthermore, I've decided to take a significant step regarding the custody of our youngest daughter. Given the circumstances and based on your insightful comments, I'm working on having my husband transfer custody to me. I care deeply for her and want to ensure her well-being, especially if I proceed with a divorce, which seems increasingly likely. His initial resistance was overcome with some convincing, and his parents have agreed to support this decision legally. I am now preparing for a potential divorce and relocation closer to my family to provide a more stable and supportive environment for all the children. Your perspectives have been a harsh but necessary reality check, showing me that the children and I deserve better than what we've been settling for. Thank you all for your straightforward advice and support. It has been invaluable in helping me see the situation clearly and in taking decisive steps to protect and prioritize my children's happiness and security.